Hey everybody! Captain Marvel! That's the topic of the day today! Captain Marvel! I just came back from the movie theater, having watched Captain Marvel for the first time, and my thoughts on it? I like it. I like it a lot. I don't love it, per se. There have been certain things about this movie that I guess could have been done better. There might have been one or two things that I could have done without. I definitely don't think it's a perfect movie. I definitely don't think it's one of my top 5 MCU movies. Definitely not even in my top 10 MCU movies. But when you have 22 movies in a franchise, or 21, I lost count. These things are going to happen. Eventually you're going to have a movie that's not so good. You're going to have a movie that's really good. And you're going to have a movie that's somewhere down the middle. And this is where I see Captain Marvel at this point. First of all, let's just talk about the positives. No spoilers because I don't really like to do that stuff. So deal with it. Brie Larson was very good in the role, not perfect. I didn't think she embodied the character of Carol Danvers / Captain Marvel in the same way that someone like Benedict Cumberbatch is the perfect Doctor Strange, or Chadwick Boseman is a literal embodiment of T'Challa / Black Panther. I didn't really think Brie Larson 100% sold me on this character yet. However, we all know she's going to be in Avengers Endgame. We all know she's going to be a very big character moving forward. And she's definitely going to have some time to grow into this character. So I haven't lost hope yet. I think she will really surprise me. She will absolutely solidify herself as Captain Marvel. Brie Larson did a very good as far as an origin story movie. Moving on, we have the second biggest character in the movie, Samuel L. Jackson as a younger Nick Fury. He was great. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson is Samuel L. Jackson. He's great in everything. Anything he does, he was very good portraying a younger version of himself. The CGI work on his face was very good. It was seamless. I didn't even notice it was there. It was just, 90s Samuel L. Jackson with hair and 2 eyes for a change. And Samuel L. Jackson is not a lot I can say about him. He was just great. He was Nick Fury. He's playing this character that he's been playing for 10 years-ish already. So, nothing new there. Then there's Jude Law. Jude Law, I thought he was very good, but we didn't really get to see enough of him. And a role that specifically the size that this role had to be, we really did need to see a lot more of that particular character to truly appreciate the writing of that character. And unfortunately, he didn't really get enough screen time in my opinion, so he did good whenever he was on screen. I just didn't think he was on screen enough. Then there's Ben Mendelsohn as sort of the head Skrull. And for those of you who don't know, this movie does feature heavily the Kree Skrull War. It's a war that's been in the comics since the 60s, I think. Apparently it's a war between 2 warring races that's been raging across the universe for I want to say 10,000 years, because that's what I remember last time, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. Regardless, going back to Ben Mendelsohn, he was very good. A lot of people, before I even saw the movie, said that he stole the show, that he was the best part in the movie. I didn't think he was the best part in the movie, but he was very good, a very layered character, probably the most well-developed character in the entire movie. There are so many different sides to him, and you learn each of these sides as the plot goes along. So Ben Mendelsohn is very good. Lashana Lynch I've heard from a lot of people that they didn't really get to see enough of her, that she wasn't that well developed. I think she was very well developed through another character in the movie. For those of you who don't know, Lashana Lynch plays Carol Danvers' best friend, Maria Rambeau, who has a daughter, Monica Rambeau, who in the comics is also a version of Captain Marvel. And for those of you who don't know, there are actually 4 Captain Marvels in comics, just to let you guys know. Carol Danvers is one of them. Monica Rambeau is another one. And I felt the dynamics between Maria Rambeau and Carol Danvers wasn't really handled all that well. But the interaction between Carol Danvers and Monica Rambeau, the daughter, was very good, and it actually elevated the relationship between Carol and Maria. And that, I think, was one of the best handled parts of the movie. And then, unfortunately, there's a lot of characters that were very disposable, very wasted. They didn't really get to do a lot in this movie, unfortunately. Clark Gregg as Agent Coulson, I was so excited to have him come back and maybe tie into the TV universe with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show. Unfortunately, that didn't happen all that much, and it's not just because, well, the show technically doesn't even exist in the 90s yet, but I didn't really think he had a lot to do. I really wanted to see more of him. They did a very interesting thing with him in the beginning when you first see him, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's kind of a spoiler, but I thought that was handled very well. But after that, he was kind of missing for the majority of the movie, which is unfortunate. Then there's the 2 returning characters from Guardians of the Galaxy. There's Djimon Hounsou as Korath the Pursuer, and Lee Pace as Ronan the Accuser. Korath was very good. He was basically a badass. We get to see a younger version of this character that we've already seen in Guardians 1, and he's younger, he's more nimble, he's just as big of a badass as he was in that movie. Unfortunately, he doesn't get enough screen time, same as pretty much any of the other characters in the Star Force thing. I honestly couldn't tell you half the names of these guys with a gun to my head, and that's a very unfortunate thing. I have heard a lot of people comparing them to the Warriors 3 from the Thor movies, and I gotta say, I kinda agree. They're characters with so much more raw potential, but they were mostly on screen for action purposes, if you get my meaning. Same as Ronan. Ronan was, I'm not gonna say unnecessary, because he was in the movie for a very specific reason. I just kind of felt he was very underused, and he kind of sorta set something up at the end that you already know it's not gonna happen because of certain things that had happened in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, and that is very unfortunate that you have such a really good actor and such a very underused character in this universe, and you basically underuse him again. Annette Bening kind of surprised me. I thought it was going to be another one of those classic cases where they just bring an older, seasoned veteran of acting to just be there for one role and move on, same as what happened with Glenn Close in the first Guardians. She kind of did strike me as that in the beginning, but as the plot moved along and further advanced, she got better. That's all I can say. She was really good by the end, and I really liked what they did with that character on several different levels. That's all I can say right now without giving away too many spoilers. That's it for the characters and the actors portraying the characters. The story itself, I liked it a lot. It was very surprising. It did a lot of things that I wasn't expecting to happen. You know, when you see certain trailers for a movie and you can already tell and you can already guess every single thing that is going to happen in the movie, you can already tell what the plot is going to be like. I kind of felt that going into the movie. Having seen it, there have been several things I didn't really see coming. and several things that were surprises to me and I wasn't expecting to see in this movie. In a good way. I really enjoyed this. I liked being surprised by this movie. It's not one of those cases that you think you know what's going to happen, and what happens isn't what you were expecting and it sucks. It was a different case where you think you know what's going to happen and what happens is not what you expected, and it's good and you like it. So that's what I think about the story. It definitely had a lot of problems, like I said. A lot of characters were just there for no particular reason. A lot of characters were underused, underwritten. Overall, I'd say this was a very good adventure. It did an awesome job with sort of the 90s reference, and as a kid of the 90s, I really enjoyed those. The songs worked for me very well. A lot of other things from the 90s, like, as you see in the trailer, the Blockbuster video, yeah, that actually was very fun. A lot of other things from the 90s, a lot of other references, they were put in there very well placed, and I really enjoyed them. They didn't feel like, you know, they were kind of trying to hammer the point that this is the 90s, you have to know that this is the 90s. Yeah, I kind of got that this was the 90s. This movie is a mixture of a lot of different genres, and to me, at least personally, they all work very well. I really enjoyed Captain Marvel. I'm definitely going to see this movie again, and I definitely recommend to other people to see it. Oh, and let's not forget Goose, the Flurkin. First of all, this cat-ish character, he was adorable. He was very enjoyable to see it. It was very nice to see all the other characters interact with this guy, and he does have several scenes in the movie that just are pure fun and enjoyment. And yeah, it's a Flurkin. There are Flurkins in the MCU right now. I don't know what else to say about Flurkins at the moment. Overall, like I said, Captain Marvel is not my favorite MCU, but it definitely is a very enjoyable experience. Not the best written Marvel movie, but if you're looking for a fun adventure, if you're looking to see the next chapter in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you should definitely check Captain Marvel out. It's definitely a movie that needs to be seen, and I hope it's a movie you like. So that's all I have to say for now. Goodbye. Flurkin! Hello again, everybody! I really hope you enjoyed this video, cause I really enjoyed making it. So, if you like what you've seen here, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next time.